Hello folks and welcome back. In this episode we're going to show you how to install an electric tongue jack on your Casita travel trailer. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. The electric tongue jack on our trailer has to be replaced. I could repair it, but I decided to go ahead and replace it with a brand new unit. I located a electric tongue jack at a good price, and it's from a company, Stromberg Carlson, that I've dealt with before, and they have excellent customer service. So we're going to show you how to replace the electric tongue jack on our trailer, or if you have a manual tongue jack, you could replace it with the same thing. Just got to run your wiring to it. First thing we're going to do is remove those three bolts that hold it in. Just make sure you leave your trailer hooked up to your tow vehicle while you do this. And I will place a link in the description down below to this tongue jack. Take these bolts out, just use a ratchet or a wrench and take all three bolts out. And then once you've got all three bolts out, you're going to have to disconnect the electrical going to it. Now they do supply you with a new fuse holder, but we're just going to use the one that came with it and cut the wire right here above it. Now just make sure you pull your fuse before you cut that wire. And if you're replacing a manual jack with a electric jack here, you're going to have to run new wire to it. And I would run at least a 12 gauge, preferably 10 gauge wire up here, and make sure that it does have a 30 amp fuse, which they do supply with the jack. Then once you've got everything disconnected, just lift your jack straight up out of the hole, and that's what it looks like. Now once you get your jack out, I would clean that hole up. You can see here that I cleaned mine up completely, and I also painted it with a rust inhibiting paint just to combat any future degradation to the metals. Then once my paint's dry, I just set my jack down in the hole and line the three bolt holes up at the bottom. Now they do provide you with brand new bolts and also with a star washer that you have to put on here, and that's so it digs in and gets a good ground to complete the circuit for the electric jack. And then just place one star washer on each bolt. Go ahead and put it in each hole, and then you will just hand tighten them in there. And that's anytime you're installing anything new, just put all the bolts in hand tight before you actually torque them down. And now that we have all three of them in there, we'll go ahead and tighten them down to attach the unit firmly to the trailer. And as you can see here, we've got all three bolts tightened down. The unit's really firm on the trailer. So now we just need to hook up our electrical and attach our chain savers. Now we've hooked up our chain saver and put it on there along with our plug saver. So let's go ahead and do the electrical. Now the jack does come with a crimp connector that is heat shrink that you see here. Make sure you use that so you can heat shrink it down on the cable. And like I said, we're going to use the same wire that we had coming to ours originally with the same fuse holder. So let's go ahead and hook those up. And then now that we've got it hooked up, you can see we haven't heat shrinked it yet because we want to test the jack. We've put the fuse back in, and we're going to go ahead and cycle the jack up and down and turn the lights on to make sure it works. And now that we've verified it works, we'll go ahead and heat shrink everything down and tie wrap everything to the actual pole here so it's all nice and secure and finished. Now that we've completed the installation, let's go ahead and test operation. The jack does come with a new foot here, which I do use anytime I'm camping. But in the driveway here where I'm just uplifting it up and it's not, it's level ground and all, I'll just use these little plastic cones that you can buy, and I'll put a link down for those also. So let's go ahead and see how it works. And as you can see, it lifts the trailer with no problems. Well, that concludes the installation of our new electric tongue jack. We hope this helps you out. If you have any questions, please send me an email. I'll try to answer them. With that being said, we want to tell you we appreciate you watching and thank you very much for your support. And we'll see you in the campground.